Okay, I'll go ahead and kick off our panel. So my name's Luke Schultz. I'm Director of Small Business Programs for Air Force Lifecycle Management. Thank you for coming to Lifecycle Industry Days. This is our first of 3 panels. This is Small Business Opportunities with Industry, or Subcontracting. First, I'd like to also point out we'll be in the 3rd floor for all of our panels in this theater. Also, if you go out of the theater and to the left, we have a small business resources area. This includes the Apex Accelerators, Small Business Administration, GSA, Air Force First Look, or Reducing Barriers, Mike Hogan's here, the Entrepreneur Center, Wright Brothers Institute, Defense Contract Audit Agency, all the small business directors under Air Force Materiel Command except for Air Force Test Center. So that includes myself, AFRL, the research labs, Air Force Materiel Command, the Sustainment Center, IMSC, so Installation Mission Support Center, and then Nuclear Weapons Center. We're also going to have the Academic Partnership Engagement Experiment over there. So it's a great group of tables over there, resources that help out small businesses. And then we also are going to have our one-on-ones with industry in the rooms just after that on the side. So once again, my name's Luke Schultz with Air Force Lifecycle Management Center Small Business Program. I'd like to welcome to you the Small Business Opportunities. So I'll go ahead and go down our panel. Unfortunately, Max Fox with Lockheed couldn't make it today. He ran into a flight issue, but he'll be here tomorrow. So I'll just go ahead and kick it over to the panel now. So if you could talk to us and tell us how to do business with your company and small business opportunities, kind of what you're looking for in a small business and opportunities that they can look for with your company. I'll go ahead and start here and work my way down. Go ahead, Marianne.
Okay, so it's doing business with BAE Systems. BAE Systems is a large defense contractor in the U.S. We have 4 sectors or business segments that are organized by products, services, and customers. You can find all of this on the BAE Systems website. If you go to BAE Systems Supplier Diversity, you can get a high-level overview of how we're organized. In a nutshell, we have electronic systems. That's the sector that I work with, or am aligned with. We do just what it says. We make electronic equipment that is applied on airplane ships, depots. We have intelligence and security. They primarily work with big data analytics, cybersecurity, IT. We have platforms and services. Sector is working, again, just what it says, military vehicles, shipyard, munitions facility management. And then we have our newest sector, space and mission systems, which was formerly called aerospace. In terms of how to do business with BAE Systems, our sectors and business model of each sector somewhat aligns that procurement strategy and therefore our small business strategy. I can speak with the most information about electronic systems because that's where I'm aligned and really started my career a long time ago now in engineering through program offices and now with the small business office leading our small business program. So we have a product-based model and we are looking and applying a category management type of procurement for things that we buy a lot of because again we're building boxes, we need building blocks, the components that go in those boxes. Somebody like IMS is looking, it does more service-based model, and they're looking for engineering services, predominantly a lot of systems engineering, software engineering, and a big focus on classified information, security clearance, all that is sort of entry stakes for them. Platforms and systems is a mix. They have some products, they have some services, and so their business model and therefore small business programs are a little bit more mixed. From an electronic systems perspective, in addition to our commodity management, that means we buy a lot of licensed connectors, housings and the like. We also look for innovation. We include small business in our procurement. We take a deliberate approach because we see it as a key ingredient to our supply chain. If we don't have a resilient supply chain, we can't deliver on our mission, which is to protect those who protect us. So we, in addition to that category management, we do focus on innovation, and through our tech scouting group, we are looking for those innovators that have a technology or an idea that align with our own research in a complementary fashion, because in that way we can get our solutions and advanced capabilities to our customers at the speed of need. How's that?
Okay, great. Thank you. Go ahead, Varick.
Good afternoon. My name is Varick Williams, and I'm with the Boeing company. And I am one of the small business liaison officers serving under the mobility surveillance and bombers ABU. And the way Boeing is structured, we have a Boeing Commercial Aircraft division. We have a BDS, Boeing Defense Services and Space Systems division. We have BGS, which is all of our Boeing Global Services division that interacts with everything aftermarket. And then we have our Boeing Research and Technology division too as well. And above all those, or under the foundation of that, is our indirect supply chain that services all the divisions, and they're the non-flyable platform, they're the non-flyable products that service the company as well. So what are we looking for in our small businesses is we're basically looking for partners. We're looking for partners that know what they want to do as far as with the Boeing company. We want partners that do their homework and can come to us as solution providers and say, hey, we know we can fit this our product into this program because we know that you've done your research. We're looking for suppliers that have great financial stability. We want suppliers that can just partner with us in innovation, and we also want partners that can support our code of conduct. One of the things that we try to do is make sure that when we see our partners or the suppliers, we look at partners and suppliers such as vessels as this event that we're here now, and we also look at networking with other primes to look at for great suppliers too as well. And then we want to make sure our network is open, right? Because we want to make sure that the partners or the suppliers are able to come to us and tell us what they can do. And one of the vessels that we do use is an item called Supplier Showcase, where we can go out, and if we're interested in a supplier, we will make sure that we have all the organizations or all the divisions in the company who want to buy, who may be interested in that supplier, and we all come on a WebEx or a webinar, and that supplier presents to it could be from 50 to 200 people on that particular occasion, and that's how we get their name out to all the other divisions. Those supplier showcases, which are key to us. That's it for me.
Okay, great. Thank you. Go ahead, Tony.
Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Tony Vigo. I work for General Atomics Aeronautical Systems in Poway, which is in San Diego, California. Wanted to first thank Luke for inviting me back. I've been speaking at LCID for a little while, was here last year, and really enjoy coming out here and meeting with the small businesses. I'm super excited to do matchmaking tomorrow as well, which is a new opportunity, I think, for myself as well as for the folks, the small businesses who are in attendance. So how to do business with this? You're going to hear a lot of similarities, a lot of similar process and what we're looking for prime contractors. For me, I actually have a prop. I have a flyer that I hope I brought enough, but it will give you information on how to become a supplier, what kind of commodity areas and services that we're actually looking for. That's actually on the back side. And also a QR code to go and register on our supplier portal. So if you don't know what General Atomics Aeronautical Systems does, we are the premier developer and manufacturer and sustainer of the Predator family of remotely piloted aircraft systems. That includes the Reaper, MQ-9A and B. So we're looking for suppliers to help us with innovation in technology, as well as we're looking for components for competitive procurements, as well as services related to that with the sustaining of the systems. And again, I have more information on the back of the thing. So to become a supplier, I need to get you registered in our portal. So we actually have, that's where this QR code on the back of my flyer will help. You can just take a picture of it. It'll take you right to our external internet. And we have a link that will get you to a registration portal that's powered by Ariba. And with that, you'll be able to submit a very short potential supplier profile, and then also email me your capability statement. From that, we can take a look at it and we can see really where there's a fit. To give you some, lessons learned, Varick gave you some really good stuff. I mean, I actually had those things noted. Do your homework. We're looking for innovation. Another one, you have your certifications together. Your ISO certs as well as your cybersecurity certs are so important to basically be able to have that dialogue with us so we can consider you to be added to our approved supplier list. The other thing I want to say, in addition to, really have an idea, what are your strengths? A lot of folks will come and talk to us and go, oh, I can do anything for y'all. And that's not really the case. We're looking for folks who have a certain niche that can help us so that we can continue to provide the best products to the warfighter. So know what you do, know how to market us, see where there's a fit and where there's synergy, and also be patient. It is a process to get added as an approved supplier. Some folks think, oh wow, I sent you my potential supplier form and my capability statement, I'm ready. I want to start quoting things. Doesn't work that way. There's a process involved. We end up getting our strategic supply chain team who's working with our engineers, working with our quality folks to qualify people and to make those strategic decisions to bring new businesses, including small businesses, into the fold so they can start bidding on our projects. And then finally, it's just, if you have, for instance, working in a cyber technology or anything in that area, we'd love to talk. If it's something especially related to remotely piloted unmanned aircraft systems, love to talk to you about that. We're always looking to partner with folks who can, help us again get to the next level. So that note, looking forward to meeting as many of you as possible, and thank you for coming. And Luke, thanks again for the time.
Great, thanks, Tony. I'll go ahead and kick it over to Mike then.
Yeah, thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Mike Rowekamp. I work at GE, now Aerospace. Used to be aviation before we had the split, so I just work down not far from here in the Evendale facility is where our headquarters is at. So we touch on a lot of different things. We touch on new engine production, military and commercial, and then we also do engine overhaul and repair, same with component overhaul and repair. And then we have other divisions that we've acquired through the years. You might have heard of the term Unison, TDI, Avio, that's all part of the GE Aerospace family. So there's a lot of different avenues you can take. I work in what's called the Edison Works division. So that's our military division, and we focus in on development. So I'm one of the sourcing leaders there, and what I'm looking for on my side, now I'm representing the whole company, so if there's other things, I definitely can connect you with all the right people and pass information on. But we're looking for suppliers that are interested in doing development work. Yeah, just because the industry is very good for us right now, a lot of the supply base we go to for the production, they don't have time to do development. I'm ordering 1 or 2 piece quantities. So we're looking for suppliers that are interested in the development area, making small quantities. In a lot of cases, our designs are not stable, so we're working with you. I shouldn't say stable, haven't been developed yet. So we're working with you to develop the design on new engine programs. So I also have it touched on earlier, an indirect division that does all of the items that are non-direct hardware, such as engineering services, shop type items, a whole variety, anything that we would need for our facilities that's not an engine part. So as mentioned earlier, I mean, one of the barriers to entry for at least the hardware side of it is, do you have the AS certification? Do you have the ISO certifications? It's just obviously the product we manufacture is very stringent to get into that market. So if you have those qualifications, we definitely want to talk to you. If you have other services, we'd want to talk to you also. So I appreciate your time. Look forward to tomorrow to meeting the individual scheduled time with me. And anyone else, I do have a couple open slots. So if you do want to talk, I'll be around later tomorrow and we can connect. So thank you for attending.
Great, thank you. I'll go ahead and kick it down to Syreeta then.
Good afternoon. I'm Syreeta Hill. I represent L3 Harris Technologies. I am local, Cincinnati. I used to support our Mason facility, space and sensors, but due to COVID, venture out a little bit. So I support a couple of other divisions inside of L3. We are now divided up into 4 sectors. We have our IMS sector, which is our integrated mission systems. We have space and airborne systems, communication systems, and recently Aerojet joined. So that's nice, just building. Like the other gentleman said down previously, we do have a cyber division where we do want to work with small businesses for new innovative ideas. Go on our website you go on our website, l3harris.com, and we do have a section there for cyber if you want to work with us. We do have a small SBLO team that works with engineers, and they just want to make sure that you include your white paper with that to get on board. I will be in the matchmaking tomorrow, and what we are looking for, any type of small business, any subcategory. The SBLOs, we are the advocates, and I'm just one SBLO out of many in our different divisions. So whatever information you pass to me, and I have a work colleague with me tomorrow, we do put that on our website for our other divisions to see. But I just want you to know we are working to streamline, since we do have 4 divisions. Everybody's kind of have their own little niche right now, but we're working to streamline. So just the information you give for one division, it doesn't mean that you're qualified for the next division as well. And like they also mentioned, make sure you have your certs in order, AS9100 or ISO certifications. If you do not, that does not mean you can't do business with us. I know some of our corporate supplier quality engineers, they do allow, they will get in contact with you if you want to agree to a site visit. That's in lieu of not having the ISO or AS9100 cert. They basically just go over your site, your division, make sure your system is up to par, and take a walk on, make sure your quality is up to par. Yeah, and if you, like I said, tomorrow we will be sitting down on the 101s. If you want more information on how to do business with L3, we also have a flyer where you can scan, and we'll talk more about that. Thank you. So,
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, go ahead and kick it down to Joanna.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Joanna Lamkins. I'm a supply chain director at Northrup Grumman, and I work in the aeronautics systems sector. So Northrop Grumman has 4 sectors. aeronautic systems being one of them. We also have space systems, mission systems, and defense systems. We also have indirect spend at our corporate office. But what I'd like to emphasize is that we've put a lot of focus this year on ensuring that as a corporation, we're aligned on our small business processes, and we're making sure that we connect with each other. So if our sector comes into contact with a small business that might not be the right fit for our programs, we try to ensure that they're connected with our other sectors. So that's something we have a focus on. So how can you do business with Northrop Grumman? Like the others, we also have a flyer. I have copies of those for those who are interested with a QR code that you can scan, and that'll take you to the supplier form that we'll ask you to fill out. Before doing that, we do recommend that you do your research, right? Get familiar with Northrop Grumman. What are the products and services that we provide to our government customers? And then try to, understand how you could play a role in that and be specific with us, right? Tell us the value proposition. So we found that, doing your homework really does pay off in that sense. So fill out the form, and then that'll go to our supplier diversity team. And our team is going to look at that, get in touch with you, and provide feedback on whether we think there are opportunities for you to do business with Northrop Grumman. And then from there, we set up advocacy team meetings. And so in those meetings, we try to connect your business with the technical experts, the program managers in our company that we think your product or service would be most closely aligned with. So that's how we connect you to the different programs within our portfolio. So next, what are we looking for in a small business? We're very excited to meet new small businesses all the time because small businesses play a vital role in our programs. Some of the key things that are critical are ability to be competitive, have affordable pricing, ability to meet schedule. We see schedule compression more and more these days, so meeting delivery schedules is critical, and then of course providing quality products. So those are kind of the table stakes things that we look for. In addition to that, what has made other small businesses really stand out is open capacity. So if you have the capacity to take on additional work, that can be really important, particularly on higher volume programs. And then also agility. So this is a very fast-paced environment that seems to be getting more fast-paced all the time. So we look for small businesses that can respond to quick turn requests and really be agile with us. And then where appropriate, sometimes we look for investment on larger programs and where it makes sense, depending on the type of small business. In terms of small business categories, we reach out to all categories of small business. We do have a particular focus right now on making sure we're finding small disadvantaged businesses, hub zone businesses, and service-disabled veteran businesses. So that's what we have a particular focus on. So that's how to do business with us and what we're looking for. And thank you to the small businesses for the important role that you play in the work that we do. I mean, truly, you are a vital part of our subcontracting community. So thank you.
Great, thank you. Go ahead and kick it down to our second to last, Andrew.
Luke, thank you so much. Joanna, great job, by the way. Really good. Hey, everybody. My name's Andrew Volpendesta. I'm the Senior Manager of Supplier Diversity for Raytheon and our RTX business. RTX consists of 3 units, right? We have Collins Aerospace, Pratt & Whitney, and like I said, Raytheon. Hundreds of locations across the world, right? 100,000 plus people, pretty big company. But before I jump in a little bit further, I want to do something a little bit different, a little fun. Can you guys do a raise of hands? How many in the audience right now is already a supplier or a partner of one of these like prestigious companies? Pretty good, pretty good. And then what about just Raytheon? All right, no, thank you so much. Okay, great. So we got some great opportunities at this event for some great origin stories, I think, right? Okay, so with that, you can always go to rtx.com, right, to get all this information. But Raytheon delivers advanced and disruptive technologies, right, products and services, civil, military, commercial customers. You know, we're a domain, right? The warfighter support, any challenge, you know, any threat, things of that nature. Again, I would really recommend just going on to the RTX to get, you know, more of that information of the company. Some of the technologies or products or services that we offer and we look for, just to kind of name a few: state-of-the-art sensors, training, cyber software solutions, air missile defense systems, precision weapons, radar, command and control systems. I mean, we have all types of products, of course, right? So we'll get into more of like what type of commodities, technologies that Raytheon's always looking for. So about our supplier diversity program, we have really an exceptional supplier diversity program, not just in a DoD, DCMA rating sense, you know what I mean? But our small business program really does maximize opportunities for small and diverse businesses. And we have a very well robust team and program. A few of my colleagues are right now receiving 2 more awards on the Mentor Protege. This is one of the Small Business Program Office's initiatives, the Mentor Protege program. We have just reached 28 non-peri awards on our program. We have dedicated supplier innovative people for supplier innovation, which is like small business innovative research, technical transfer, SBIR, STTR, where we probably write well over 100 letters of support to small innovative startup companies, right? That we like further seek into opportunities with. So we just have like a phenomenal program as well as that. Lots of my colleagues said some fantastic stuff, right? Stuff that I would repeat as well, right? Probably to start with how to do business with Raytheon, just to hit it again, we too have an online pre-registration portal, have all that information, tag up with me after this with the networking. We'll be able to help you with that. Again, you go to the rtx.com, you would see that. Something that probably wasn't mentioned is I want to give you guys a really good shout out. What I have found from the past, really engaging and doing business with these companies, is coming to these prestigious events. Being here in person, where you get a chance to meet with us, if you can take advantage of the matchmaking sessions, that right there, I think has like huge opportunities to get the ball rolling for you guys. And then of course, it's gonna be like lessons learned. We'll talk about a little later on how to handle, you know, that. Other things that, of course, that were mentioned about what does Raytheon look for, you know, agility, innovation, a lot of that stuff. But maybe to talk about some newer things that haven't been said yet. How's about taking risks and not just the rewards? Lean forward in with your partnership with us. Be willing to be strategic in the way you think, not just 3 to 6 months or 12 months out, but a real strategic agreement. What is the next 3 years with you and a growing relationship look like, right? I know that's a deeper conversation to have, especially if you haven't gotten your foot in the door, but you know what I mean? Like, do you just really want to be a supplier that's just fighting for every PO day in and day out? Or do you want to have a best value strategic sourcing, maybe like a really good long-term agreement in place, where it's a win for us, win for you, and it's a win for the warfighter and customer as well. Let's see if I had anything else that I noted. We talked about the reps and certs. Oh, you know, I'm a big fan of process improvements, mitigation risk. You know what I mean? Having good policy procedures, command media, like, hey, it's a beautiful thing, right? When the relationship's in the honeymoon phase and everything's working great. But once deliverables aren't being met, and you know what I mean, we're starting to see challenges, being able to work with small business, small diverse businesses. Again, I always like to use the word partner, right, more than a supplier. But being able to recommend and talk through some of the challenges, right, and how to mitigate some of the risks, and having contingency plans in place. You know what I mean? I think that's really important, leads to a great relationship. So I think with that, I'll just say thank you, and I yield back my time.
Great. Thanks, Andrew. Go ahead for our last one. Devin?
Hello, everyone. My name is Devin Brown. I am the Senior SBLO for Sierra Nevada Corporation, SNC. If you flew into Dayton today, you most likely saw our hangars at the Dayton Airport. We are currently building additional hangars there. We are a mid-tier defense contractor. We've been in business for the last 60 years. Something that's unique about us was we are still privately owned and operated. Our owners, Fadi and Aaron Osman, are our owners, and we emerged from the small business arena. Our chairwoman, Erin, was actually the original woman-owned small business part of our company. And so between us and our supplier diversity team and the owners, they support our small businesses immensely. Last year, our direct subcontracting was over 49% to small businesses. And for our programs that we have, that was a considerable effort that we did. Now, our team, we have several different business areas that we work with. I am out of our Colorado Inglewood campus, which is under our ISR Aircraft Support, IAS. And then we also have our MST, Mission Support Technologies team. We work with several of these people on this panel, and they also work for us. And so we are always looking for opportunities. We are not an OEM aircraft manufacturer. We modify aircraft. That is our thing. And we do a lot. And our commitment to our small businesses is what for our supplier diversity team, we advocate for our smalls. We look for opportunities if they're not getting traction with the program or if they're not receiving some sort of beneficial opportunity. We go out and we look for talking to our program teams. We look to get them involved early in the programs, not just after award. We look way before that. And we're always constantly trying to increase our participation. Now, we team with several Apex Accelerator offices across the United States. We value their counsel that they can give you as a small business. We're always verifying your small business classifications. Those are something that I always look for. Just like everyone else on this panel, we have a supplier database. That's how you register. Pretty straightforward. I would like to say ours is fairly easy, but we do make sure you have the right certifications in place. And then our ultimate goal is to get you on our approved supplier list so then we can have you start working on our programs.
Okay, great. I'll go ahead and reattack through the panel one more time. Any lessons learned that you want to share, or maybe talk about how long it takes you to become an approved supplier? I know, Tony, you talked about that. And then I think what's interesting too is how far out do you guys look when you're putting teams together? Are you looking 5 years, 10 years out for major programs? And then just if you could keep it kind of short, because what I plan on doing is once they're done with this, I'll cut the panel short so then you guys can network and you guys have opportunities. We had a great, the amount of people, it was just overwhelming that wanted to do one-on-one. So I apologize, we couldn't get them all filled, but this will give you an opportunity to network with these companies and then also at the social. Okay, Marianne, I'll go ahead and start with you and just work your way down. Thank you.
Yeah, I want to just say that being first in line is not the best place to be.
I don't know if the last in line is better.
Okay, wait a minute. Do you want me to kick it back over to Devin?
That's okay.
It gets better.
No, we truly do take a long-term approach. And in that regard, we do have a team stood up. We have our own internal research team. And one of the focuses of that internal research team is a technology scouting team whose sole purpose is to go out and live in that innovation ecosystem. So partnering with universities, partnering with accelerators, partnering with venture capitalists. I mean, we have a permanent presence at the Capital Factory in Austin, Texas. We're an early adopter of some of the DoD programs like Air Force TechStars, accelerators, custom accelerators with FedTech, sponsoring DARPA, SBIR portfolio participants. That is a long-range look at what we believe our roadmaps are going to take us to. So that is the 3 to 5 year and beyond approach.
Okay, great. Boeing?
Okay. It's not a lessons learned, but it's a perception that we've come across. And the perception is new businesses or new suppliers doesn't mean risk. So what we try to do is make sure that, say, for instance, if you're coming out of the automotive field and coming into the aviation field, we're still going to look at you, we're still going to evaluate you, but just because you're new, that doesn't mean you're a risk. So we will always look at your performance, and we'll always look at some history on you. So let's get that perception out the way. New suppliers to Boeing doesn't mean you're a risk to Boeing, okay? One of the other things that I want to make sure of is the fact that when, and I guess my fellow panelists knows this, but when we send you out information to respond to, the quicker you get it in, the quicker we'll try to be able to onboard you. So don't sit on it for a month or two and then say, oh, I forgot. The quicker you get your information into us, the better it is and the faster it is to get into Boeing as well. And like my other colleagues, we do have a doing business with Boeing.com out there that you guys can get on and fill out the paperwork. And we do have a team that goes out and evaluates and sends back information to you guys too as well. So like everybody said, I will be tomorrow I will be helping you guys out, supporting you guys. But if you see me out in the networking area, just feel free to touch base and we can just talk about it and discuss what's going on with you.
Great. Tony?
So my opening comments, I probably stole some of my thunder. So in an effort to not repeat myself, a couple of additional thoughts that come to mind is, first of all, past performance is really important. So if your company has a track record either working directly with and supporting the government, the federal customers, as well as the other primes here, that goes a long way, I think, in stating your case to say, yeah, we're small, but we know our stuff, we've been doing this, and to the best of your ability to communicate that to us to help us with our decision. The second comment, this will be my last one, is we talked about, a couple folks mentioned indirect purchasing. Indirect purchasing doesn't have a lot of the scrutiny, I guess, as the direct. When something is going direct into our products, it has to be 100%. It has to meet the quality standards, has to get there on time. There's a lot riding on it. If you have an indirect offering that you can bring in, you can actually start to establish a relationship with us and show that you can do what you can do as you then go and get the appropriate certifications, and then we can build a relationship. So we're really looking to take a long-term stance with you and to develop that relationship over time.
Great. Thank you. Mike?
Yeah, I would kind of repeat what Tony just said. On our side, if you have dealt with some of the primes from the aviation side, aerospace side, that definitely helps. That can kind of streamline things in our system. If you're brand new to aerospace and all the aviation FAA requirements, it's a little more challenging to get through those. I would say, we're a long cycle business, so we set up a lot of our agreements on purchase agreements, what we call them, that are more LTAs, that are longer in term. So if we can get you in and then get you on one of those LTAs, we usually try not to do a lot of spot buys, at least for our production side. In my group, where we're doing development, we're doing separate orders. But I would say more on the production side, the new engine production side, we go into more longer term, anywhere from 3, 5, there's some 10-year agreements on some parts. So we try and lock in to find a source and lock that in for a longer term relationship. Indirect side, again, what Tony mentioned, a lot easier, less obstacles, I would say, to get through there. So if you have any specific questions, we also have a website, doing business with GE Aerospace, that you can go on to, and there's different tools and resources that you can look at there also.
Okay, great. Thank you. Syreeta?
Yes, I did want to mention this. One of the lessons learned from my perspective and a couple of the other SBLOs in the different business units at L3 Harris, reps and certs. Lovely piece of paper to fill out. A lot of people go on sam.gov, but I don't know if my other colleagues up here that, we intertwine business. Some of them might have a website that we use, an internal web-based website. Just make sure if you are already a supplier for us, make sure your reps and certs are completed annually. And please make sure you put every associated NACE code that you are associated with on your reps and certs. That is very critical, especially to a lot of different business units within L3 and probably everybody else too, to make sure, hey, I just don't dabble just in this one, but I have multiple. That's kind of very important. That was one of the big things that I've noticed, that it's a kind of a miscommunication between the suppliers, because we'll look and say, oh, they only have this NACE code, but what else do you do? Also, with a lot of us doing business with DoD contracts or NASA, not just commercial or indirect, but I don't know if you all noticed, but there's a SBA list of NACE codes that come out every so often. They update every so many years. If you notice, a lot of the NACE codes that start with 4.2 or 4.5, those are not the codes that are necessarily useful in the DoD or NASA program. So you kind of want to stick to the 3.2s, the 3.3s, the 5s, something like that. I see some kind of confusion, but I hope some people understand what I'm saying. If not, when you get in our one-on-one sessions, if we need to discuss that a little more, we can. And just kind of with everything changing, kind of understand a lot of the FAR and DFAR clauses. You don't have to know every single one, because you can go online and look them up or whatnot, but a lot of the contracts, when you get a subcontract from some of us, some of the thresholds, the dollar amounts, it's certain. Once you reach a certain dollar threshold, there are certain pieces of paper or documentation that has to be completed prior to receiving an award. I know with a lot of the small business audits that have been coming up, and maybe I shouldn't even be talking about this, but just to, kind of sum it up, the suppliers, they have to self-certify. So if you get emails from some of us, I know I get a little pushback sometimes, but before you take an award, you have to self-certify that what you're filling out in your representations and certifications are current, accurate, complete as the date of the offer. You just have to reply to that stating with your quote, hey, my reps and certs are current, accurate, complete. But that's just one of the lessons learned that I've been kind of, it's kind of common through L3 Harris with what we were, having pushback on.
Great, thank you. Okay, Joanna?
To kind of piggyback off of everything that's been discussed, I mean, DoD contracting is a lot, right? We just have a lot of requirements, and it takes a good amount of effort to educate yourself on all of those requirements. And so I talked about preparation before, right? Understanding the company and the products and services we provide. I think another area where preparation matters is just in the area of government contracting, right? And familiarizing yourself with all those requirements and how to be compliant. I have another flyer with me for the DCAA Summer Series. So we're partnering with DCAA and putting on several courses on these subjects. So that's a resource provided to small businesses only. And so I have that available for you. I think it's just a great resource to learn more about all of these things. And then the other question about how far out do we plan who will be on a team? Typically, we're a long cycle business, right? A lot of our pursuits are very long cycle, taking several years. However, I see acquisition timelines changing, right? We've had some other acquisitions lately that have been much more quick turn, where we've had to put together our team, our industry team, pretty quickly. So I say generally it's long cycle, but I see that getting shorter. So what we do when we go through our process of onboarding small businesses and having the advocacy meetings, we bring in our design for supply chain team. So those are our supply chain representatives who are kind of on the front end with engineering, looking at where we're going in the future and what role small businesses could play in that. So that's the team we work with pretty closely to understand how small businesses will play into these future pursuits that our company's going after.
Great, thank you. And you brought up a great point. DCAA, remember they're in the small business resource area and they love the difficult questions. Okay, next one, Andrew, if you could keep it short.
I'll keep it pretty short. Let's jump to the lesson learned. I think that's a good one. Do keep in mind, most of the small business departments, supplier diversity departments, we're a small team. So, please be patient, with us when you don't hear from us a week or two out. I assure you, we're never trying to dodge you. You want to definitely be persistent, but another lesson learned would be when you have a meeting or a one-on-one or even an email, establish the accountability on both ends, even for us, and just be like, hey, if I don't hear from you in 2 weeks, is it okay if I follow up? You know what I mean? And they'll say, yeah, give me 3. And then follow up. And don't be afraid to follow up. It definitely can take longer than you think sometimes, right, to land that first, contract award. You would think I wouldn't have to say this, but I've experienced it, so I'll say it. Maintain professionalism and politeness. Believe it or not, once you feel like you being avoided and you haven't heard from us in a while, again, it's not personal. It's just we're busy. We're trying to take care of the business and get through the list. I've unfortunately had people go, well, apparently I'm not going to hear from you, so, and then they just lay into you. You know what I mean? And I'm like, oh, well, that just demonstrates what kind of relationship we don't want. You know what I mean? So I hate to say it, but be patient, be persistent, be professional. Big time lessons learned. More lessons learned, I would say Apex Accelerator, some of the other things. You can learn so much about how do I navigate through all of the government contracting requirements, what are the reps and certs. There's a lot of federally funded programs, even free to you, that you could actually lean on to actually, learn the ropes, if you will, instead of doing it the hard way. Second, everything Northrup about all the timeline stuff. It's very similar.
Yeah, great. I know you brought up Apex Accelerators. Billy Grill and Danielle are out there, so please hit them up with your questions. Great resource, and some of the programs, I know locally they do the CMMC. You get, 15 hours of free consulting on that, which is phenomenal. Okay? And then to end it, Devin, are you just going to say your name and then we're done?
No, I would foot stomp everything that's been said. I think knowing your small business categories is a big deal. If you give me a pamphlet and you don't have your right cage code or it doesn't match your registrations, it's a hard time to get you registered in our system. Obviously, we all have these robust supplier databases, but the thing that is gospel is going to be what you have in SAM, and that's what we're going to fall back to. The other thing is I would say, if you're trying to connect with our program teams, I would ask you not to do it through LinkedIn. Do it through us. Let us advocate for you. It's not going to work for you to go outside of the normal communication lines to go through something like a third party, especially when our customer is the warfighter. We don't want to see that either. So.
Great, thank you very much. I appreciate all your guys' time. Just give them a little bit of time to get off the stage so you can network, and then remember the networking opportunity below. And if you have any questions, comments, or anything else, please bring them to me. I appreciate it. Thank you.